Hi everyone, it's Mo here, and today's video is picking the best Game Week 4 wildcard. I take it if you're getting red arrows, you've got injuries, even a -8 can't fix your team, you're going to press the button, you're going to activate it. Let's have a look at what I think is the best possible wildcard. Starting with the goalkeepers, I'm going for the #1 troll, Ederson. I still think Manchester City are going to keep the most clean sheets. I know they frustrated a lot of managers conceding to Sheffield United, but regardless of that, Ederson's a solid pick. Lovely fixtures coming up. Bit more expensive than you like to spend on a keeper, but if you're not going Salah, it's an easy pick to own him as well. His backup's going to be Areola from West Ham. They've got difficult fixtures, but West Ham are playing really well at the moment, and fixtures will ease up if you ever do need to rest Ederson and play Areola. But 4 million, it's a no-brainer. Defenders. First up is going to be Chilwell. Now, most of us already own him. If you don't own him, do me a favor, add him into your wildcard team right now. He's a must-own. Vital to Chelsea's attack. Looks super fit, ready for this season. We're frustrated with him that one-on-one he missed. He tried to do a pass. None of us can get that out of your head. He's going to get many opportunities like that, and he will slot them in. He will get assists. He takes set pieces as well. Add Chelsea's fixtures. For me, this is a no-brainer. That's the first slot. Second slot is going to be Trippier. Now you're thinking, oh, he costs quite a bit and he hasn't got much points. Well, yeah, wildcard is not just for this game week. We need to look further forward. And he looks like a player that we're all going to be jumping on come game week 5, 6, 7. Reason for that is Newcastle fixtures turn. I know they've had a difficult start to the season, but if you add that they've already shown me enough that they're going to be still solid this season. There's nothing to worry about. They're going to be just as good as last season. Trippier is a lovely pick. For me, he takes that spot. After that, it's Matty Cash. Now you're thinking, am I just chasing last weekend's haul? No, I'm not. A lot of us were already looking at Villa. As Unai Emery's done a great job. They look like they're going to be challenging for the top 4. That's how good they are. Add Matty Cash's price. Add that Villa's fixtures are going to change. Get a bit simpler. Well, I should say not simpler. Get easier. And also, he plays in a back 3 at times where he's super attacking. But even in the back 4, I like him as an option. Matty Cash takes that spot. Fourth spot goes to Udegi. He's been the standout sly pick this season. I didn't know much about him before the start of the season, but it looks like the new manager, Ange, really likes him, playing very attacking, at times inverted. You find him in random positions, but for that price, playing for a good team like Spurs, I like it. Whether you play him as your first sub or you actually start him, no problem at all. He takes the 4th spot. And last but not least, I'm going to take Kabore from Luton. Again, you're not asking for much here and you're hoping that he doesn't need to come on, but 4 million bench fodder. Or if you can pick another 4 million defender, really, who's going to get more minutes than him, or maybe get a clean, which I don't see having a quick look. There's not much 4 million fun out there for us, but that makes up the defense. Onto the midfield. 5 positions, very difficult to fill as there's so many options. I'm going to start with Bruno Fernandes. I think he's had an excellent start to the season. It was tricky between him and Rashford. I wanted United cover. It was nothing to do with the price here. I just thought Bruno has been better on the eye test. If you add the minutes, add the penalties, the uncertainty he plays every game, pivotal to United's attack, I'm happy with having Bruno Fernandes in my team. Next up is going to be Maddison. Playing really well, playing with a smile on his face. I've seen his interviews talking about how he's really enjoying himself at Spurs. Last game I watched him live, really happy with him. Starting as a 10, but can dip in left or right, can drop deep, take set pieces. Tottenham score, I think he's going to be there or thereabouts with an assist or a goal. He's going to be the main part of it. After that, I've kept Saka in the team. I think Arsenal still look very dangerous. I watched them against Fulham. Forget about the result, but the performance, the amount of shots, possession, sustained attacks, they were going to be a constant threat. They've got good fixtures. The penalties is a tricky one. I'm not sure him and Odegaard are doing rock, paper, scissors or whatever they're doing to decide the penalties, but it's a bonus if he gets them. Let's just say that. I wouldn't bank on him taking every penalty. Doesn't look like it. Still, he's in my team. Next up is Raheem Sterling. Lovely fixtures. Huge haul against the Luton Town. He's not going to get an easier game than that, but still the fixtures are good. He's one of the main driving forces for Chelsea at the moment. They're relying on him and Jackson to deliver the goals. Such a threat. I see him winning a lot of penalties. When he drives into the box like that, you just can't touch him. Too quick, too agile. Raheem Sterling for me takes that spot. And last but not least, I've gone for Phil Foden. Now, this is the one that's a bit questionable because not because of his ability. The guy's elite. It's more about his minutes and rotation. We're not sure. I think he was ill for the last game. A lot of us brought him in and he was ill. But for me, if he's fit and starting in this City team, he's probably going to become one of the best midfielders in FPL. That's how good he is. The only thing with him is the rotation and minutes. If you don't have the appetite for that, you just move him to Mbeumo and that's you sorted. Next up is the strikers, and one position is obvious, Haaland, so we're not going to talk about him. The second position for me was between Jackson and Watkins. For me, Jackson edges it. I just love the fixtures. I love that he's looking at this Chelsea attack is between him and Raheem. The goals are going to come from them two. And he scored that goal against Luton, which I think will give him a lot of confidence and hopefully just let him just slow down a little bit. I think he's been trying a bit too hard. When he does this, it's going to make him even more of a goal threat. So Jackson takes the second position. And the third spot is more of a 4.5 bench fodder, just in case we need him, is Archer. Not going to tell you much about him, but we're hoping his move to Sheffield United now makes him a viable player that if we ever do need him, we can bring him on. That's my wildcard team. What do you think? Can you improve on it? Who have I forgotten? Have I missed out someone integral? Let me know in the comments so I can actually have a look, see if I can improve this team. Now, I thought about, before you say it in the comments, I thought about maybe moving one of the midfielders, which is hard because I love all of them, to Mbeumo, who's an excellent pick. Gives me a bit more money. It means I can improve my bench and change someone like Kabore to Botman or a Henry. That could be quite important, especially with Champions League coming. So that's one way I thought I can improve it. But the difficulty I had, I don't want to drop none of the midfielders. I thought up front was a tricky one between Jackson and Watkins. Watkins being excellent. I know he's dodging the goals, but he's returned nearly every game. So he's a lovely pick as well. But I think Jackson just edges it for me. What do you think? Anyway, let me know. Please like the video, subscribe. Any feedback is appreciated.